You are capable of at least 10 times more than you think you are. You got something holding you back. We all have self-limiting beliefs that tell us why we can't do something, why we can't accomplish something, why we can't have the thing that we really want to have, and we buy into it. We listen to these voices and make ourselves believe that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes, that we're not strong enough, that we're not fast enough, we're not smart enough, whatever it is. If you follow David Goggins, and you should on social media, he has this philosophy he calls the 40% rule. And he says that when a person reaches the end of their rope where they feel like they are completely wiped, they can't move forward another step, and they're done. For most people, when they reach that point, they really only used about 40% of their total capacity. And he's right. You know, you might have heard the analogy of how they train circus elephants. They don't take a big full-grown elephant out of the wild and try to train it. That would never work. They're too wild. They start with a baby elephant. They take the baby elephant, they put a big, huge chain around its neck, and then they attach that chain to a giant pole in the ground, and that elephant can't get away. And it tries, it fights, it pulls, it tugs, it tries to get away for days, going crazy, and eventually it learns, there's no way I'm getting away, and it just gives up. It stops trying. And then they can start training it. And as that elephant gets older, the chain actually gets smaller and smaller. And by the time it's full grown, you'll see a little bitty rope around the elephant's neck with a little bitty spike going into the ground. And that elephant could totally just turn around and walk away and yank that spike right out if it wanted to, but it doesn't because it believes that it can't get away. It's adopted that mindset, and that's how it lives its life. Things do that. We let things that have happened to us in the past, experiences that we've been through, convince us that we're not good enough and we can't do it and we don't have what it takes. When I used to go to this CrossFit gym years ago, and there was this one day that really stuck out with me, and I showed up one day for the class. I happened to be the only person to show up for that class time. It was in the middle of the day. There were two trainers there, and since it was just the three of us, they decided they were going to do the workout along with me. And the workout that day was called Grace. And if you're familiar with CrossFit, you'll know it's a CrossFit benchmark workout. And basically, it's a 135-pound barbell, and you got to take it from the floor to overhead and back down to the floor 30 times as fast as you can. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, especially if you're a weightlifter or a strong guy. 135 pounds isn't a whole lot of weight. But when you're trying to take it from the floor to overhead and back 30 times as fast as you can, it'll wipe you out, no matter how fit you are. And so we do this workout, and of course those two trainers are super fit guys. They finish in under 3 minutes, and it ended up taking me like over 11 minutes because I wasn't very fit at the time. After the first 3 or 4, I was just taking them one at a time every 20 or 30 seconds. But after they got done, they were definitely gassed. They worked really hard, but they immediately came over and started cheering me on and encouraging to me, come on, you got this, come on, let's go, and just pushing me. And because they were pushing me, I pushed myself. By the time I got to 20 reps, I wanted to quit. I thought I was done. There's no way I can keep going on. I can't breathe. My muscles are on fire. I got to stop. But because they were pushing me and cheering me on, I pushed myself. And I ended up finishing that workout. And it took me a lot longer than it took them. And when I finished, I collapsed on the floor in a heap of sweat and trying to catch my breath. But the two of them started celebrating, cheering, losing their minds. Yeah, that's awesome. High-fiving me, high-fiving each other, just making a big deal that I finished it. And it felt really good. And I learned a lot about myself that day. I learned the value of encouragement, and how when you push other people in a positive way, they'll push themselves. And I also learned that I was capable of a lot more than I thought I was. I thought I could only perform at this level, and I could actually go to this level. I just didn't know it, and I've carried that with me every day since. To learn that no matter what you think about yourself or what's happened to you or what you've done in the past, that doesn't stop you from moving forward and accomplishing what you want. You can do anything you want to do and achieve anything you want if you're willing to put in the right level of effort. Don't let anyone or anything, even yourself, convince you otherwise.